Intensity, consistency. Those two things will get you very far in life. Up. So I'm currently trying to drop some body fat and ideally hold onto the muscle that I have, or maybe even gain a bit of muscle. I am not measuring calories, but I am tracking my protein every single day, and I'm making sure that I'm getting at least 170 grams. I'm 170 pounds right now. I'm short, so I'm 5'6", and I'm probably at, like, if I were to guess, 16% body fat. I'm just trying to, you know, slowly cut my fat down while maintaining, or, you know, in an ideal world, gains a little bit of muscle. Something that I'll say is meal prep is the key to success when it comes to your diet. Unless you want to be measuring and tracking everything that you eat on a daily basis, which isn't realistic for most people, the easiest way to be consistent with this is to basically eat the same things every single day. I'm very fortunate. My fiance has made really good food for me to eat for the entire week, and I will show you guys what I'm eating for lunch today. All right, so today for lunch, and this is gonna be my lunch or my dinner for the entire week. I'll switch it up. I'll eat this for dinner maybe tomorrow, and I'll have what I'm gonna have for lunch tomorrow for dinner today. But for lunch today, it's gonna be lean ground beef, and I'm gonna have 5 ounces of this. Quick Google would tell me that 5 ounces of lean ground beef cooked is around 35 grams of protein. So, like I said, I'm trying to hit 170 grams of protein per day because I'm 170 pounds. And if I go over, that's fine. And again, I'm not tracking calories. I'm just trying to eat whole foods for like the majority of my food. On the weekend, we will go out for dinner or go out for lunch or something. But throughout the week, pretty strict. I'm eating whole foods, and I'll have a shake, usually in the morning pre-workout, because I get up early to the lift and I don't want to eat. The goal here is get the majority of my protein from whole food sources. So ground beef for lunch, and a bit of jasmine rice. I'm not gonna weigh this, I'm just gonna eyeball it. I don't eat a ton of rice. And then I will have some of this Vietnamese soup that my fiance made. So it's basically just broth that's been cooked with ground pork and a ton of vegetables. So this, for me, I love soup. Like, I love Vietnamese soup, I love pho. And this has kind of been a staple for me in the last few weeks. My fiance's been making it for me every week. It's kind of a way for me to get my vegetables in because I don't particularly like eating vegetables. I'm going to weigh my ground beef out. I have a scale here. If you want to be serious about building muscle or losing fat, I would recommend you get a scale to make sure you're hitting your protein goals. Prior to the last few weeks, I was loosely tracking protein and I was prioritizing protein. That's what I was telling myself. I'm going to try to eat whole foods and prioritize protein. And I have a small appetite naturally, so when I actually started tracking my protein and measuring it out, I was grossly underdoing what I needed to be getting. So I was getting like 100, 120 grams per day, and that's just not gonna be enough because I lift really hard and I need that protein to, you know, recover and build muscle. So I'm gonna weigh this out, 5 ounces of ground beef. I'm gonna eyeball the rice, and then the soup, I'm just gonna have like a bowl of it because it's mostly vegetables. So there's 5 ounces of lean beef. This is actually a lot of food. Like I said, I have a small appetite, so this is actually going to be hard for me to probably get down. And then I'm gonna add a bowl of this soup. Because there's a little bit of ground pork in there, I'm probably gonna be around 40 grams, I would assume, for this lunch. All right, so for most people, myself included, lifting or working out is not the hardest part about getting into shape. It's not the hardest part at all. Working out's the fun part. Diet is going to be the blocker for the majority of people, from my experience. I've been lifting for 16 years, and throughout the years I have gone, you know, through waves of eating good and eating bad, and over the last 7 years especially, I have definitely not been eating good. Our habits dictate basically the outcome of our lives to a very large extent, and if you can just tweak your habits slowly over time to set yourself up for success, to be in line with your goals. So if that's fat loss, building muscle, a huge thing, like I mentioned, is going to be meal prep. So this is a really good lunch, 5 ounces of ground beef. Having this prepped and ready in the fridge, it just makes my life so much easier. I don't need to think about what I'm gonna eat. I don't have to worry about being short on time with work if I'm really busy and having to go get something from a drive-thru. And especially when I'm stressed, at all, whether it's work or life or whatever the case is, the first thing I want to do is just eat fast food. I don't know why, that's just kind of my crutch. And having this food in the fridge and knowing it's there, it just makes it that much easier to not go do that. Work on your habits. First of all, take a look at your habits, you know? If you're eating high sugar processed food first thing in the morning, that's not a good habit. That's gonna lead you to being hungry really soon into the day and probably reaching for more processed carbohydrates. Eat a healthy breakfast, eat whole foods. That's what I've been doing for the last few weeks, and it's going really well. So here's the lunch. Again, 5 ounces lean ground beef and gan, which is the Vietnamese soup. And if there's any viewers that are Vietnamese or have Viet family, you are definitely very familiar with this. My fiance has been making this for me basically every week for the last several weeks because I love it. And it's one of the only bearable ways for me to get my vegetables in. I really like eating these vegetables. I don't really like eating vegetables typically. So this has done me well.